Good morning. It's Debbie. Today I wanted to take you with me to dehydrate onions. I have a basket of onions that I need to use up. We got these on sale, and I'd like to put them away for storage. And I think I might grind some more onion powder. I make my own garlic powder and onion powder, and these are just the pint ball jars. And this is much more flavorful than the stuff you buy in the store, and it's a heck of a lot cheaper. So with a little elbow grease, you can make your own, and it's much better. So I will take you with me and show you how I do that. Obviously we got a cutting board and a knife. I have a pot of water that I'm going to heat up. You need to blanch your onion slices before you put them on the dehydrator. They dry a lot faster and they'll rehydrate faster if you blanch them. Okay, we're just going to slice these up. Try to make them as uniform as possible. That way they'll dry evenly on the dehydrator. I have a dehydrator that blows from the bottom. I guess I'm saving for the Excalibur dehydrator. It blows from the back, and from what I hear, it's much more efficient, and I do a lot of dehydrating, so I will eventually invest in one of those. But for now, I'll just use what I have. Oh yeah, I forgot to turn my water on. Get our water boiling. And I'll be back when I get these all cut up. I'm done cutting the onions. I have them in my pot of water. I'm just going to let that come to a boil, and then we'll strain them off and put them in the dehydrator. I have a little tip that I wanted to tell you. I put a piece of paper towel underneath my trays when I'm filling them. Just, even though I'm straining the onions, I don't want any drips to get on the fan element. So I do this, and then before I turn it on, I take the paper towel out just to catch any drips if there are any, and that way, you know, they'll dry better. You can even blot the onions. I don't, because I feel that they dry good enough as is, but you can if you want to. That'll take even more moisture out before you dehydrate them. Alright, our onions are boiling, and so we want to turn this off and bring it over to the sink and strain them out. Here's our onions, and I just like to rinse them in cold water. Just to, whoops, I fogged up the camera there. I like to wash them in cold water after, rinse them in cold water after, to stop the cooking process. Again, you don't want to cook them, you just want to blanch them. So make sure they're all cooled off. A lot of people like to put them in a bath of ice water. I don't really think it's necessary. I just wash them off and cool them off so they stop cooking. And again, they're a little floppy, but they're not cooked. Okay. Now we'll strain these out and stick them on our dehydrator trays. Okay, our onions are all rinsed, and we're going to put them on the dehydrator trays. You don't have to be real picky how they go on. Just kind of spread them out. Obviously, the more air flow, the better. The faster and more even they'll dry. I don't separate each and every one, but I definitely like to give them more space. I try not to do 2 layers. Try to get it as close to 1 layer as I can. Alright, when I get these all filled up, I'll be back. there you have it. They're all filled. Now we'll just take our paper towel out that we use to catch any of the drips. And we'll set this over here and turn it on, and we'll be back in a little while to check it. Okay, so I think our onions are done. They've been dehydrating for quite a few hours. Probably like 6 or 7. And as you can see, they're very dry. And you just kind of have to peel them off. Some people spray the trays. I don't like to do that because I don't want the added oil in there. Oil can go rancid, and I want to store this for a while, and also powder them. So if I put oil on the trays, and they will all scrape off. You just got to spend some time. So when I get that done, I'll be back and show you what we're going to do next. Okay, all the dry onions are off our tray. And as you can see what we got, all those onions, they shrink up unbelievably when they're dry. When you take them off the trays, I recommend having something underneath you. It's just easier to put it into the jar that way. Makes it much easier to pour in. Okay, so here are dried onions. I have just a regular coffee grinder I got from a friend. This works out good. Makes a nice fine powder.
I'm the cameraman.
Yep, I got my cameraman today. Okay.
Onion
add that
powder.
to our onion powder here. See how nice it comes out?
That's your onion powder.
Yeah. Onion. And it's much better than store-bought. So give it a try. So there's our onion powder. It comes out nice and fine. Tastes much better than store-bought. I hope this inspires you to try something new. See you next time.